apt expression in our business world. Who's afraid of the big bad boss? Well, in all honesty, which one of us wouldn't be if we happened to have a big bad boss? A very important dinner for four is about to begin at the Massey house in Connecticut.
Will you get out of here?
Yeah, but I just like everything to be perfect. Absolutely perfect tonight.
Oh, it'll be perfect if you don't louse it up.
Yeah.
You think the King of Sweden or somebody was coming?
Well, now, they're Mr. Belzer. They're more important than that, even. Now, when the doorbell rings, Ellen, you just put those hors d'oeuvres into the oven. And when they're brown, serve them, huh? You know, I am still wondering why, after all this time, he suddenly decided, thank you, to take over as active publisher. I don't understand that yet.
Well, that's what I've been trying to figure out.
Yes, I know you have. I know it. And I think that tonight, after a good dinner and a quiet evening, I think we're going to find out. Hmm?
Well, Chris, I let you go ahead with this dinner party idea, not because I thought it'd do any good, but because I wanted you, above all people, to know what I'm up against. And why, every once in a while, I have to look out from under his heel and smile.
Oh.
Well, here goes.
Yes, hmm? Good luck, darling. And, Paul, try it my way now. You're going to promise. Try it anyway. Be attractive and charming. Oh, good evening.
Oh, where's the kitchen?
It's there.
You take the eats out to the cook. You tell her that bird's roasted already. All she's got to do is slap it in the oven for a couple of minutes. Well, then if you want to take off, okay. But you'll be back here by, let's see, it's 8 now. We ought to wrap this up by 10:30. You'll be back here by 10:15, sharp. I brought one of those roast turkeys and cold cuts to nibble on.
Oh, Mrs. Beebe, come on. How are you?
Belzer said you were a widow with 7 children, a few extra victuals to fill out the pantry. Besides, I'm not much on these dinner parties. Plain man with plain taste. I don't savvy this fancy grub.
I'll take your hat.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Oh, Chris,
I've eaten in the best restaurants all over, but give me a slab of white meat and a few mashed potatoes. Nice place you got here.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. We like it very much.
I don't know anybody want to drive all this distance from the city.
Well, we don't mind it.
When you figure out the hours you spend commuting, it's not worth it.
I'm Christine Massey.
I know that.
Oh, Mrs. Beebe, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't realize me have your coat.
Belzer didn't do you justice. You're a knockout. That's what's wrong with that kid. He's afraid to cut loose to make the big stroke. That's what I keep telling him.
Did you have a nice drive up?
Oh, it was fine.
Fine. Now, what was fine about it? It was another car ride, that's all. I hate cars. You're not going anywhere. You take a train. You got room to spread out. If you are, give me a jet. That gets you there. Well, sit down, Belzer. You act like a maitre d'.
Excuse me.
Don't he remind you of one, Mrs. Massey?
Oh, excuse me. I'll only be a second.
Cigarette?
I stopped by your office this afternoon, Belzer. You'd gone.
Yes, I left a few minutes
I
early.
wanted to tell you I'm bringing a new man in on Monday. I hired him away from that Playtime magazine, whatever it is. Now, he knows the male appeal inside out. I want you to let him have his way. Let him alone. Take the blinders off and let him run.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Slap it in the oven for a few minutes and serve it with mashed potatoes.
Are you kidding?
Nope.
What about the roast? The sauce is great.
Forget the sauce, Ellen, and just do as I say.
You mean he brought his own dinner?
He brought his own dinner. Plain food for a plain man.
Prime ribs is fancy.
Oh, Ellen, don't argue. Fix that turkey.
Oh, great balls of fire.
No comments, please.
What am I supposed to do with the rest of this stuff? This cold macaroni salad and rice pudding.
I don't know, Ellen, but I am sure we'll find out.
Great balls of fire.
Shh, he'll hear you.
I don't care.
I am not asking, I am telling. Now, I don't want you or anybody fooling with this guy. You let him write what he wants. He don't have to prove himself to you or anybody else.
I am not asking that he prove himself. I just think that he
You
ought to...
think too much. You're not God at that magazine. Anybody can use help. Action, that's the word. This kid's a dynamo.
Please, gentlemen, now, no more business tonight. We're all supposed to relax. Would you like one of these hors d'oeuvres,
Oh,
Mrs.
well,
Beebe?
thank you. They look delicious.
They are. I take great pride in these. Mr. Beebe, won't you try one?
I brought some of those cheeses.
Oh, would you rather have one?
If I ate one of those things, it'd keep me awake half the night.
Well, we wouldn't want to do that, would we? Paul, would you like one?
Chris, I'll get the cheese.
Oh, surely. Thank you. Well, I'm going to have one. I don't have any trouble sleeping at all.
Now, women never do.
Mrs. Beebe, I understand that your husband calls you Rain. Is that a nickname?
Well, that was because I...
Oh, her name is Lorraine. You know, the first time I saw her, she was standing on the street corner getting soaked to the skin. She looked like a wet puppy. Well, I pulled up in my convertible. See, I says, jump in, baby. It's warm and dry in here. So she jumped in, and 2 months later, we were married.
It wasn't exactly a pickup. The way he said hello, well, I thought I knew him.
Well, of course I can understand how that would happen.
If it wasn't a pickup, what was it? Call a spade a spade.
Well, I think she just meant that sometimes...
I know what she meant. You women, you got too much pride. You take me now. I was born and raised in the streets of San Francisco, and I'm proud of it. I come up the hard way, and I don't have to make no excuses to nobody.
But that's very commendable.
It's a fact. I don't ask nothing from nobody.
You know, you ought to try it sometime.
Try what?
Asking someone for something.
Ha!
Oh, no, believe me.
Oh, now that's a woman talking if I ever heard it.
Well, oh, thank you, Paul.
Oh, hey, yeah, right here, Belzer. You gotta try some of this. Oh, it's great. It's a real sharp cheese. See, there's this Italian who's got a delicatessen down there, our duplex, and he flies this stuff in from one of them South American countries just for me. You know, if it wasn't for me, that 2-bit joint of his would fold in an hour. I always run a big tab with him, and he hits me with one of those charities of his half a dozen times a year.
That's very nice of you.
What is?
Thank you. Giving to his charities.
I got a list of them as long as your arm. You name them, I got them. Every crummy race, creed, color. As long as they keep their nose clean with me, I don't ask any questions.
I didn't get a chance to tell you how beautiful I think your dress is, Mrs. Beebe.
There's not another one like it in these United States.
Oh.
I made sure of that when I bought it.
Oh.
Nothing but the best for my bride. Well, go on. Try some of that. It's great.
Oh.
This Italian's got this delicatessen, see, and he... Hey, I said that, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
You know the old brain gets to whirling. I just can't keep up with it.
Yes,
I suppose you asked me up here to find out what I'm going to do with the kid here. Hmm?
Oh, no.
Bascombe, Mrs. Massey knows nothing about the business. I told her about your hunting lodge.
Oh, yes, he did. He says it's very near here. Paul told me it's wonderful. Is it really?
You know, that is what is wrong with this kid. He evades the issue. You're talking about marrying her, then she better learn something about the business. Well, what else is there?
Well, there are lots of things.
Like what?
Well, I mean, if you put your mind to it, you can find some really wonderfully Mrs. Beebe, would you like to freshen up before dinner?
Well, yes, I would.
Thank you. If you gentlemen excuse us, we won't be a minute.
You know, that's women for you. You back them into a corner where they can't answer, and they'll squirm out to powder their nose.
Bascombe, I'd like to ask a favor. Mrs. Massey doesn't know anything about the business, and I'd prefer not to talk about it.
You know, I haven't got her sized up yet. Oh, she's a beauty. Got real class. There's no doubt about that. But whether she's the gal for you or not, I don't know. You give me a few more minutes. I'll have her pinged.
I keep hoping that things will change. They never do. Do you have any vodka, Mrs. Massey?
Yes, would you like some? I didn't serve cocktails because Paul said neither of you drank.
Bascombe doesn't drink, you know, and he doesn't understand that somebody else might need to. Occasionally.
You stay here and I'll get it for you. Mr. Beebe, your wife has a slight headache, and I'm going to get her an aspirin. I'll be right back.
Aspirin? A good straight slug of vodka will do the trick. We play the little game. All the time we play the little game. The servants tell me. She thinks they love her, I guess they do, but I pay them. They keep no secrets from me. None. I know where the body's buried.
Mr. Beebe, I have a feeling...
Chris.
Sorry. I'll just get the aspirin for your wife, and then we'll have dinner right away. Excuse me. That... I don't know what he is. He isn't a man. He's a...
There it is. And the mashed potatoes is in a box.
No. No, Ellen, I'm not going to do it. Now, just wrap up that turkey and all the rest of those things and give them back to the chauffeur. We're going to have roast prime ribs of beef, monster or not. He's in my house, and he's going to eat what I serve him.
But the roast is cold now.
Well, warm it up and put the wine in the sauce. He can sit there and starve, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the whole country was asleep, dead asleep, but I was coming. You see, 2 years before the bottom fell out, I knew it was coming, so I played it smart and got ready for it. I sat down one night and I thought to myself, if people are broke and hungry, what is the one thing in the world that they'll scrape up enough dough to buy? Hey, do you know what I come up with?
Prime ribs, sir?
No. No, thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Beebe. You were saying?
No, what?
When people are broke and hungry, what is the one thing that they will buy?
Bread.
Bread.
Bread, the staff of life, bread.
Oh.
Well, I didn't know anything about the bread business, but I figured I better learn.
Yes.
So, there was this bakery that was about to go under. I bought it. I paid cash. Well, to make a long story short, that depression hit with a bang. But I didn't jump out any windows. I sold bread and more bread. I saw the poor slobs who didn't have sense enough to get ready selling apples on the street corner. Oh, it was pitiful. But it was their own fault. Yeah, I guess you don't remember any of that.
Oh, yes, I do remember. I remember my mother sending me down to the grocery store to buy some pinto beans and a bag of flour. She made her own bread.
And that's where I had you.
Oh?
Yeah, 2 months after the crash, I took over 3 flour mills and a grain elevator. I was in the flour business.
Yorkshire pudding, sir?
What the devil's that?
It's Yorkshire pudding. It's a sort of a bread.
That's what I thought. Just once. I'd like to see you go out just once without making a fool out of me. Just once.
Well, what happened to the turkey, Mrs. Massey?
Oh, well, you see, we had planned on having prime ribs of beef, and I thought that we should serve it. Sorry, but I thought that everyone liked prime ribs of beef.
I don't. I made that clear.
Yes.
It's excellent, Chris. I don't know when I've enjoyed anything more.
Thank you, Paul.
Shut up. Well, nah. Tell you the truth, I wasn't too hungry. I'm glad the rest of you enjoyed it, though.
Well, I suppose we could slice the turkey if you would like.
No. I never eat too much when the old brain's whirling.
Oh.
Belzer, you know what I mean, huh? Don't you, Belzer?
Well, you're not a heavy eater, Bascombe.
A little of that macaroni salad and some rice pudding will set it off just right for me.
Ellen.
Would you like it mixed, sir?
No, Ellen.
Well, as I was saying, I didn't know much about the bread business when I got into it. I figured I better learn. And Belzer here will tell you that I don't know anything about the magazine business. Is that right, Belzer?
Well, you're learning, Bascombe, I'll say that.
You sure will, because business is a game with me. See, I like to make money.
Yes.
Now, I think that we are in the middle of a depression right now. No, not an economical depression, no. A moral depression.
I don't quite understand what you mean, Mr. Beebe. That is, I hope I don't.
The people are fat. Fat and lazy. Just like them Romans are lapping up the horn of plenty. Fill the cup with wine or vodka. Bring on the dancing girls. Watch them wiggle and twist. Watch them pant and writhe in ecstasy. Excitement. See, that's what the people are looking for.
Mr. Beebe, I don't think that everybody...
I made money on one depression, and I will make money on this one.
With the magazine?
Yes, with the magazine. You go my way, you can make it with me. That's what I keep telling him. That's why I moved in and took over. That's why I am changing its face and its policy. Well, I like you, kid. Yeah, you got brains, you got moxie. But you ain't got your hand on the pulse of things.
And you have, Mr. Beebe?
Oh, now don't be a naive child. You give them what they're looking for. Bring on the dancing girls, just like them Romans. You give them what they're hungry for. Hey, do I shock you, Mrs. Massey?
You have asked a question, Mr. Beebe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm wondering, are you going to listen to the answer? Or are you going to plow on through your own stupid, cheap, vulgar world? You haven't shut your head since you walked in that door. You haven't listened to anyone else's opinion or even considered it, except your own, or about anything. The frightening part of it is, Mr. Beebe, you are smart, and you are clever, and you do have your hand on the pulse. But that beat you feel, Mr. Beebe, no matter how much you dislike it, comes from the heart. Now, just pay attention to that for a moment. Pay attention, and you will see there's another group in this country that begs for leadership, begs for smart, clever men like you to show them the right way to go in this world of ours today. You can't make any money on them, but you can get rich. Much richer than you have ever even thought of. Just stop stepping on people. Stop puffing yourself up like a blowfish. Stop. Stop it. Just stop, Mr. Beebe. And start over.
Would anybody else like some rice pudding?
No, thank you, Ellen.
You shut up. 9 o'clock. I think we've had this dinner. My car won't be back until 10:30. Bells, will you call me a cab?
Yes, I will.
Oh, I've been waiting a long time to hear someone tell you off. If I could have put 4 words together myself, I would have done it a long time ago. A blowfish. That's you. Always blowing yourself up.
Shut up! You're drunk!
But I'll be sober in the morning. And you'll still be a blowfish.
I think I'd like to powder my nose. Would you?
Yes.
Please.
Did you call the cab?
I didn't have to. Your car's already here.
Rand, get your coat. It's in there. You gonna marry that woman?
I hope to.
Do you understand our situation?
I think so.
If you understand that, then you'll understand what I have to say. That woman is not for the editor of my magazine. Is that clear?
That's clear.
Then I suggest you handle a little situation just as soon as possible.
Do you mind if we talk about it tomorrow?
No, I don't mind. I'm in no hurry. You are.
Speedy, I'm sorry. I thought you were right.
I should have known. I picked you up on a street corner.
And you do make mistakes.
Go on to the car. Well, Mrs. Massey, this has been a delightful evening. I imagine you're quite proud of the help you've been to the kid here.
All gone?
All gone.
I heard your speech.
Oh, my big mouth. Why don't I keep it shut?
Oh, well, now, don't worry. That man ain't worth it. He's nothing.
Boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I'm something, aren't I?
Well, I can't say it's New Year's Eve with a jolly group singing Old Lang Syne.
If you put on your hat right now and walked out the door, I wouldn't blame you.
Chris, I don't suppose I'm the only man walking around on glass because he's invested too many years into something that wasn't his. I guess nothing ever belongs to us, really. We just borrow it for a while. And when we lose it, it's such a shock.
I feel awful. Just want to cry. I wish you'd put your arms around me and tell me something good so I'd feel better. I just want to cry.
Cry for the both of us.
Oh. Can he fire you?
No.
Oh.
But he can make life so miserable, I'll have to get out if I can't take it.
You love that magazine, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You know, I didn't know it was possible to love you any more than I did a few minutes ago.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Well, you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. It's silly, I'm mad and I'm sad and I'm so mixed up I don't know what I'm thinking, but I am happy. Isn't that silly? Truth never truly hurts the teller. Well, good night. And we'll see you next week.